wide players from San Luis are going to have to do. They're going to have to track back and watch. And this is going to be the theme, particularly for the first 20-25 minutes. Monterrey will probe down one side. They'll try and go down the middle. Campbell's got the license to front, run in behind. San Luis have just got to be organised and disciplined.
There is no away goal. Monterrey finished better in the standings. That doesn't matter. Rayados finished 7th. Atléticos finished 10th. If we are tied after regulation, we'll proceed with penalty kicks. And that was a foul. It was an offside called by the assistant, Jorge Antonio Sanchez.
Yeah, Jensen just running offside there. And I'm delighted for him in his last game at home to score. It's a little bit of a deflection. He's just always trying to play on the shoulder, but that time as the ball's played, he's clearly offside. Baba puts his hand up to make sure the official is... But they are working hard in that midfield area, but a lot of space on these wide areas. If they can get the ball wide to Gonzalez and particularly Maxi Mesa, they've got a chance to get in behind.
Here's Jansen with the 1-2-3. And Ponchito wasn't able to cross thanks to Ricardo Chavez Soto defense there.
Yeah, I think both fullbacks, Chavez, and particularly on this right-hand side, is going to have his work cut out because, as I've said, Campbell can run in behind, Gonzalez can run in behind, and also Maxi Mesa, so they've got that options.
No reports still about Ponchito Gonzalez leaving or staying. This could be his last match as Rayado if they don't make it through. From far, it's Burgos Mesa. Atletico player down. The ref hasn't realized that, so the rest of the Rojiblanco players were calling for his attention. And Hernan Berterame is in pain.
Yeah, I think the home fans are letting him know that they think it's maybe just got slightly winded. But again, when you're away from home, or hey, you just try and slow the game down, take the atmosphere out of the stadium. You said about the heat, the tension in the stadium. If you're the away team, you just want to gradually grow yourself into the game. If it means stand on the floor for a couple of more seconds and get your team further up the field, you don't want the opposition to start making some headway. There is contact. There's enough contact for him maybe to lay on the floor, but it's been an excellent start by Monterrey, whether it's been a set pace, whether it's been playing the ball into their forward. They've had runners going in behind. Vucicic, the coach, would have been delighted.
The Atlético's manager, Andrés Suárez Jardine, was clear with his speech. We worked very hard during the whole week. We worked strategy, and we work all our options and variants. And that's probably where we can locate those kind of situations to cool off not just the team, but also the fans. Here's Jansen, and finally, it was Bilbao sending the ball away.
And there's that run in behind as well. And you do as a player, you know, even for Monterrey, they would have said, right, first 15, 20 minutes, we're going to play high tempo, we're going to put them under pressure, see if there's any nerves, see if there's any weaknesses. Once the game settles down in phase 2, then we'll start controlling the ball in midfield.
If you can find any of those 20 to 25 minutes window that you were mentioning, Warren, when does the pressure starts kicking in into the home team?
Again, if there's no opportunities, if there's no creating some chances, you'll hear groan here, a player maybe mispassing a play. That looked like it was handball for me, but the referees let it go. But yeah, that's what San Luis will try and do, you know, nullify the opportunities, slow the game down a little bit. Then there's 1 or 2 slow passes in midfield, and that's music to your ears. You start then gaining confidence, because it's natural for your home team with this fan base behind it to start forcing the issue, and you start giving the ball away cheaply. So there's a fine balance of playing high tempo and putting your opposition under pressure, but also just keeping your discipline. And when you've got Vucicic, the coach, 66 years of age, won everything in the game at this level, he's not going to panic, he's not going to divert.
I think San Luis has nothing to lose tonight. No matter if they win or they're eliminated. They lost the first 3 in the tournament, and they sack their then manager, Marcelo Méndez Russo. After only 21 matches at the helm, they brought a Brazilian Olympic champion, Andrés Suárez Jardine. What a story. He just got to the club, started working, no previous experience in Mexico, and he has had such a great run. 6 wins, 2 draws, 5 losses. He picked the team last place in the standings, and right now he is in the wildcard round. Jansen getting the ball, tossing it back to Vegas, and he's playing with Montes. Now forward, no luck, but still possession for Rayados. Here's Gallardo, 1v1, trying to find the space, tossing it to Mesa. Now he's going across to the right. Good control by Campbell. 1v1 facing with the cross, and the defending, anticipating the goalkeeper. It was Unai Bilbao. Arteta sending the ball for a corner kick for Monterrey.
And there's the 2 big players involved. Maxi Mesa on this right-hand side, just putting a diagonal ball across, and Campbell with that sweet left foot, just cutting inside, and he knows. Look here, he's observing, he's looking where to put the ball. He's just trying to get it into an area for Jensen, the Dutch international, to get in front to a tap-in.
The ref saw something that he didn't like. He paused it, and then it's a short touch. A set piece that it's not working like Rayados was pretending. Montes with the header, and finally Montes losing possession for Rayados. And here's San Luis going forward. R4, good cross. Here's Zambuesa trying to cut in, and finally getting the touch by Cels Ortiz and gaining a corner kick for his cause.
Well, he done well, the 38-year-old, to get up there, but we know he's predominantly left-footed, but you still think with his technique he could have passed it in. But there's the man, the captain, the leader, Ortiz, closing it up. 1 minute you're trying to get a goal, and now you're defending a set piece. It's been quite open, and that's the danger that this team do. San Luis, they will break very, very quickly on a counter-attack.
And Zambuesa is not a captain anymore. He's 38 years old, but what a leadership and what skills still at this stage on his life. Starting over Facundo Waller, a great touch, but very well played. Air ball by Esteban Maximiliano Andrada.
And you can see straight away they're trying to play quick play. You know, this is the first time in the playoff situation. We've done enough of these games this season for Monterrey. They do like to play out from the back, but there's been a definite change of tactics. They're going to go quick. And now they can slow down once they get into an area.
Monterrey has been called a strong, physically and mentally team. Today, that strength should be on top because, as we said, it is 102 degrees. Good cross by Pochito. Now Jansen keeping it in play. 3 defenders made some touches, but weren't able to clear from far. Finally, it was blocked. This one from the captain, Ortiz. And that's a foul call by the ref, Perez Duran.
And that's what they're saying straight away. Why does he not pick up a card? You know, it happened earlier on for them. Medina, the Colombian, gets tightened, and then he's done. That should be a yellow card. We see it in the Champions League with, you know, the Brazilian pulling the shirt back there. Casemiro should have definitely had a card in the game, but the referee again has let it go. But he's a danger, he's a threat. His pace, obviously, but once he gets into areas, he's got a clinical finish as well.
Of gameplay are gone. We're tied 0-0. If we finish regulation tied, we'll proceed with penalty kicks. That was the story between Cruz Azul and Necaxa. At the end, Cementeros are still on the run. They defeated Los Hidrorrayos 3-1. Jansen anticipating, going for the finish. Great defensive cross right there, and then it's a foul. This could be a yellow card. I don't know what Warren Barton thinks about it.
Well, again, the referee has come across and just had a quiet word. Jensen doesn't think there's too much contact. And neither do I. I think this is a little bit of sportsmanship from San Luis, just trying to take a little bit of heat. Great closing down again. The ball's bouncing. He's strong. He's robust. He's going to go for the ball. I don't think there's too much contact there. I think as soon as they see him coming along, he was panicking just to get it away, and it's more as he lands than anything else. I don't think there's any contact whatsoever.
I think the contact was the forearm and the right elbow against one of the sides. But what Unai Bilbao is selling is something on his left knee.
It might
so
have been.
that's when we have a problem.
Yeah, it might have been as he landed. You know, he might have jarred his knee on the surface. Looks like he's in a lot of pain. I don't say there was contact, but I think as he's jarred his knee down. Unfortunately for the player, this is the hard part of the game, is his injuries. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. But it just shows you, Jorge, how Monterrey are playing. You know, they're letting them have it at the back and then they're closing in numbers. They're hunting in packs. This is a substitution that they didn't really want to do, particularly in your back line. And that's something that they would have worked on through the week, how to defend against their players. But unfortunately, as I said, this is the horrible part of the game.
Yeah, but psychologically, you're losing potentially your captain.
Yep.
One of the players who have become an icon in this new stage of the history of the club. And you will pull up from the bench a 20-year-old kid trying still to establish as a part of the main roster of the Atléticos.
And that is a strange, because you've got Diaz, who played in the last game in there, and I thought he played very well at the centre-half. He's not the most mobile, but he's got a lot more experience than, as you said, a 20-year-old kid that's coming in. But, you know, the referee, the manager will look at this and say, right, you're ready for this game. But you can see by the player's reaction, he's, as you said, a big part of their team, and that's good sportsmanship by Jensen as well to come across. Just watch here as he lands. I'm not saying it's the tackle, but as he comes down, it's awkwardly, and then it sort of jars underneath. Oof.
Yeah.
He knew straight away, didn't he? Next holding it.
Exactly, and that touch probably is what took him off balance, and the rest is just the consequence. But also, it's also a football play, unfortunately.
Yeah, as I said, it's the horrible part of the game. You know, I was involved in the game for 18 years at a high level, and you know, you see players get injured, and that's a horrible sign for someone to be carried off. And you can see the pain that he's in, but it's part and parcel of the pro level. But they'll have to regroup. They've had, you said, this team in adversity. They lost their coach. The new coach has come in, give them a new identity. I looked at their record. They either win a game or lose a game. They don't really draw too many games in this season, so this will be a test of their character, but they've shown character throughout this season.
Well, Ramon Juarez has joined the match. Unai Bilbao is gone with an injury to his left knee. And we lost probably 2 minutes. Maybe a little bit more. And we have to take that in consideration, because it's a live or die match. There's no tomorrow, and every single minute has to count.
Well, if anything showed you with Real Madrid and Manchester City this week, that the game's never over till the final whistle. So it just showed you whatever game you play, the adversity you come against, the time, you'd never take your eye off the game.
Well, probably after that comment by Warren Barton, there goes our base fan of Citizen aficionados. Long ball for Jansen, good control. The finish! By Monterrey! And the current scoreless strike for Vincent Janssen was only 28 minutes. It's over! 1-0. Vincent Janssen putting Rayados on top of Atlético San Luis after only 18 minutes of gameplay.
Well, he got one last week, and again, but they've gone straight for the jugular. The captain's gone off. Who do they go after? The weak link at the back, no one's picking him up, they're not organised, he's clearly onside, the foot's keeping him on. The young kid doesn't react quickly. Could have been a little bit of a handball, but what a wonderful touch, the second one for the Dutch international. Actually, it's a beautiful chest, 2 great touches, one to cushion it, one to finish. But they go for that area. The substitute comes in, he's not up to game speed, he gets caught out of position. They try and come across, it's too late, 1-0 to Monterrey. This is exquisite touch. He doesn't have to look at the goal. That don't move. They're 1-0 up.
This probably will be one of the highlights of this repechaje round. And what a moment, especially when the whole Rayados fan base was chanting Vincent Janssen, Vincent Janssen. Wow! This is the moment that Monterrey was expecting for. Is this the awakening of the Rayado giant? What a story on FS2. Warren Barton, I am Jorge Perez Navarro on Mother's Day weekend.
I can tell you as well, if you ever do karaoke, I'm going to do it with you because you can't sing. If that's how they're singing his name, he won't be happy. But all right, they've gone for the weakest thing. They've gone for the kid at the back. They're trying to exploit the weakness. They've really started the game well, Monterrey. They can smell it. They can smell the chance they're playing with high tempo. I've never seen them play as quick as this.
I remember last week you were mentioning about gaining self-confidence on Vincent Janssen after the score, and today he's a totally and complete different player. He is so pumped up, he is so intense, and the goal that he scored, to me, it's a very good one because he was moving away from goal. Great chest control, and then the finish.
I can bet you if it was 3 weeks ago, he wouldn't have finished it. The touch might have gone off, but that goal, that deflected goal that he got in the last home game, has given that confidence. And the fans, as you said, were singing his name. Please don't sing, but they were singing his name. And that's given him that confidence. Strikers thrive in that environment. They want to be loved, they want to be cared. And now he has that feeling. You could tell the cushion on his chest, didn't have to look, and he knew with his weaker foot, he's just going to flip it into the corner.
I think I should have told you before my comment about Vincent Janssen's chant that it was kind of a fusion between rap and hip-hop. So
well, whatever it was, change it.
That's Aguirre going wide to the right. And then the great move by Mesa, the cross, and Janssen is hungry. He was after it. No problem, Leon. Sent it away.
But they're rattled at the moment. You can see the players, the body language. They're not. It's just a hopeful ball played into the areas. They're giving it away. A lot of these players wouldn't have played in this environment. They can get intimidated. You can start losing your focus, your concentration. Monterrey now will just start probing again and see where that weakness is. And it was excellent play because they've gone to feet a couple of times, and the next ball was over the top. Defenders wasn't expecting it. They're ball watching, and before you know it, you're losing 1-0. The ball's in the back of the net.
Janssen connecting with Gallardo from far.
Should have gone to Campbell on this left-hand side.
Smash it.
Yeah, he should have just got.
Totally agree with you.
Keep it moving, get it on the outside. Campbell was furious.
And the moves from midfield to the top by Monterrey, I am amazed by that because we have Aguirre going from midfield wide to the right. Then Mesa is going to the middle. Janssen is coming back. Campbell is going to the left, and Ponchito sometimes is by himself on top.
Definitely, with Campbell's come out in the media and said he's thoroughly enjoyed having the flexibility of what Vucetich has given him. It sort of said, well, if you see Maxi Mesa go on the right, you go on the left, and vice versa, where Maxi Mesa's found it a little bit difficult. He's more rigid in his play, but Campbell, you've seen now, he's at the middle. Gonzalez is on this left-hand side, but don't be surprised if all three of them interchange. And what the coach will say, when we don't have the ball, get into your positions. When we've got it, interchange. Do what you like.
Do you work that during the week, Warren?
Yeah.
Or you just have a conversation with your players and you let them be on the pitch?
No, you would have done something for 15, 20 minutes and just worked on it. But then you look at your players and say, look, these are your foundations, but obviously when the game materialises.
Cross to the penalty area. Cleared. But this will give Atletico another opportunity. Here's Suarez going wide. Murillo has nowhere to go.
Because look at the shape. Look at the shape of Monterrey, how they're squeezing up. The centre halves have come along. The midfield players are high enough to go. Ortiz is saying to Aguirre, come with me. If I close, you're with me. Don't let any gaps go in between. Now look at Gonzalez at the bottom of the screen, 21. He's tucked inside here. If it goes across, he's going to let it shuffle.
Short touches by San Luis, and then the ball through. Way too long. Germán Berterame wasn't able to get even close to it.
this is the ball, little ball over the top. The defender's got caught ball watching, little touch, and before you know it, it's in the back of the net. Leon gets sucked underneath it. He's not got his partner next to him, his captain. He's off the field, and before you know it, you're 1-0 down. The young kid has to try and come across. He's never going to make it.
And following that angle, Warren, what a great touch by Eric Aguirre. It was a great pass straight to the chest of Vincent Janssen.
Yeah, it's like a little.
We have to give him credit as well.
Perfect. Yeah, it's like a little pitching wedge. It wasn't like going to run away from him. It had enough backspin on the ball that if it hits any part of his body, it was going to stay in and around. So the touch was good, but the ball was perfectly weighted. He just put it into an area that he knew his centre forward could get onto the end of the ball.
Janssen looking for a fight. Campbell finding Aguirre, and then Mesa. Another ball for Eric Germain, and he tosses it to John Stefan. Now forward, Campbell 1v1, cutting in, putting it through. Janssen, the heel pass, and it's only 25 minutes and a half. Wow, I'm tired already. I'm sweating, but here comes Los Atléticos. Ball to the middle, Berterame going wide. This will be for Chavez. He gets in control, 1v1. Sanabria. Now Sambuesa. No more. He was gone offside.
And I've never heard the stadium like this for a long time, you know, and that's down to the players. They've started the game very well. They played high tech, and the fans have been engaged. We've been lucky enough to watch them filter in, and they're looking forward to this game here. He just drifts offside. Well worked as a back line. You said with the heat, so maybe they're having a drink as well just to dehydrate. But it's a perfect start for Monterrey at the moment. Your striker scores, you're looking nice and solid at the back. The midfield two are working well together. He's had an assist coming in.
We mentioned that loss suffered by Monterrey at home on February 26th cost Javier Aguirre his job. And to be fair, this type of atmosphere wasn't backing El Vasco during his stay at the helm of Rayados. Those were the days of the pandemic. Those were the COVID days where fans weren't allowed into the stands. And it was a big element that wasn't there supporting the project.
But also it was their style of football. You know, I've done enough of their games. It was, you know, give it to Funes Mori, let him score one goal, and then we're just going to hang on. This has been totally different. You know, they've won, as I said, they're unbeaten at home for 6 games. They're winning games, they're scoring goals. There's a lot more invention in their play. They've let Campbell, they've let Maxi Mesa drift around. It's a wonderful venue. So when the fans are coming here before, you're right with the COVID, but the style of football wasn't enlightening the fans. You know, when they was allowed to get back in, it was quite stagnant. And that's eventually what cost him his job.
We were seeing the outside of the steel giant. Beautiful piece of architecture that costed $200 million. Opened on August 2nd, 2015. And the first one to score a goal here was Cesar Hasid Montes Castro.
It's on my bucket list to go. Apparently you're going to take me along because they do some nice food here.
I promise to be your your culinary tour guide.
I do spicy, but not too spicy, okay? You know, bear with me, I'm an Englishman.
Don't worry, don't worry. I'll take care of you. What I'm worried about is the grease that sometimes is used to cook some stuff. Not about the spiciness, but you'll sweat, you'll cry, but you won't regret it, my friend. Berterame going to the left. Murillo is on top. Sambuesa, the cross now. It's a 50-50 ball. The strike! And it was Chavez putting it away.
It's a chance, it's a half chance, but again, just very simple. Go down the outside, deliver a ball. As good as they are at the back, they don't really deal with set pieces very well, or deliveries into the area, high crosses. Challenge at the far post. It's awkward. He looks like a fullback the way he did that. So just a little wake-up call for Monterrey. It's not been going all their way, but I think they won't mind if San Luis start coming forward, because that'll leave a few spaces in behind.
As we mentioned, Monterrey got to this repechaje round as number 7. San Luis as number 10. Number 9 is gone. That's Necaxa. Cruz Azul won in penalty kicks, 3-1. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are already waiting for the quarterfinals. Pachuca on top of the table, followed by Tigres, Atlas, and America. Jansen, what a move. And now trying to put it through.
Well, he looks a totally different player.
That's going to be...
Doesn't he? From 3 weeks ago, he's turning, he's spinning, things are going for him this time, and that just shows you how things can change so quickly for a player with confidence.
Something clicked inside of him, and as you also mentioned, it's like a different aura. He's still fighting, he's still running, but it's something different that you see, but it's not easy just to perceive it, but it's a different attitude. 50-50 ball that goes to Campbell, and this opens a wide opportunity for Monterrey. Not anymore. Here's Gallardo. Now Aguirre. Captain Celso going to the right, finding Medina. Monterrey is not in a rush anymore. They're leading 1-0. They're in control. They're playing at home. I mean, if they can finish this way, they will be in the quarterfinals. Little push from behind for Pochito. And that was a good tackle there by Sebastian Vega. Sambueza. If San Luis wants to do something, needs to toss the ball to Ruben Sambueza. He's the general, he's the tactical, he's the creative, he has the touch, he has the leadership. The ball has to go through Sambueza.
Correct. He's never been a player that's relied on his pace and athleticism. He's never been that type of player, but what he can do is find a pass, and he has got that calming influence on the game. But this is where they're having the problem.
At 38, Warren, he lacks the speed from his younger years. But probably his vision, his touch, and his leadership reminds me more of those old number 10s in the old days of soccer.
Yeah, he's a true number 10, you know. But he's never, as I said, he's never been a player that's relied on that speed and that turn of pace. He's always been a clever player. His speed is his mind. Is his head. That's where his speed is. He'll see a good pass. So the more he gets involved in the game, and that's why Ortiz, you can see in the middle of the field, is keeping near him. If you can nullify him, it sort of takes away from San Luis's danger. Then they just become a bit one-dimensional, which is relying on going up to the big man and then seeing if they can get a second ball. But Monterrey have just got to keep the ball a little bit. Yeah, just keep the ball a little bit better, Monterrey.
San Luis said that they had to do the perfect game against Rayados. Now it's Monterrey who have to do the perfect game. One mistake and can throw everything away. They're leading 1-0 after almost 33 minutes of gameplay. Long touch, but still under control. Here comes Sambueza going into the penalty kick, cutting it out, and finally was Medina Ramirez sending the ball away. This will bring a corner kick for Atlético San Luis.
Yeah, there's a little glance there of him just getting in front of the ball, doing it, little change of pace, outside left foot. I'm not going to put him in the same bracket of Diego Maradona, but that type of influence with his sweet left foot. Although he wears number 10, it's not Messi or Diego Maradona, but that type of influence where he can just drop a shoulder and then play a ball into a dangerous area.
Here comes Rubens Oscar. He will curl it out. There goes the ball, and the header in between everybody.
That's a chance.
Finally goes.
That's a big chance as well.
You can,
that's a good opportunity.
You can keep those type of opportunities in set pieces if you're Monterrey, Warren.
Yeah, you have to be careful. As I said, for a team that's so big, they attack the ball very well when it's vertically in front of them, but from set pieces, they do look very vulnerable. Great credit to St. Louis at the moment, they've sort of clawed their way back into the game. Yes, they're still losing 1-0, but they're the ones that are sort of pressing a little bit higher. Monterrey have had a few little passes gone away.
And one thing about San Luis is for sure, they are not gonna quit. They came all the way from last place when Andrés Suarez Jardín took over, and they are in the repechaje round.
And they've got
Sanabria goes back.
And they've got a forward up front that can score goals. You know, he only needs half a chance. He's already got 7 goals this season already, the Argentinian, number 7. So he can create chances and score goals.
And for that, he needs to sink along with Sambuesa. Chavez wasn't able to cross it. And a 50-50 ball for Jansen. He plays really good as a post. And this is the opportunity from the right. The cross for Jansen. He flips. The finish wasn't able to accomplish by Joel Campbell.
Well, you said it, Jorge. Jensen, he does well. He pins himself. He gets pulled up in the middle, holds it up, gets it wide, and his initial reaction is to get far away from the ball. And then he's looking to head it down to Campbell just to take a chance. And it's good defending in the end, but Campbell throws himself at the ball. Little diagonal is just saying, put it on the plate. Can you attack it, my teammate? Campbell does, but excellent defending in the end. But that just shows you how quickly they can change. Jensen as a true number 9, it goes out to the right. He pins to that left-hand side to create space for Campbell.
What proved me that play from Jansen is that there is no I in team. And it doesn't matter the great moment that Vincent is riding right now. He's playing for the team because Campbell had a much better position. Here's Joel Nathaniel. He has to go around, looks, shoots, and didn't have much.
Yeah, and he should have passed it, Campbell, because he had Jensen just to slide it in. As soon as it opened up on his left foot, you're never going to score from there. Just keep it moving on that left-hand side. It's been a fascinating half so far. You know, Monterrey dominated for the first 18-19 minutes, got their goal, but you can see San Luis, they're trying to squeeze up. They've gone for more of a 2 up front now, 4 in midfield. Not too many gaps in between, and Monterrey are in this position now. Do they push and get the second, as they felt they could do in the first 19-20 minutes, or are they going to get to half-time and let him have a few calming words, little tactical switch here and there?
No jacket for Bucetich now. I wonder why. we passed 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Great move right there. And then the ball through to Jansen. He has to hold it. And he finally goes across. He connects with Gallardo. Looks. He crossed. Far post. And I believe the ball was deflected. Yes, indeed. Jorge Antonio Perez calls for a flag ball.
Yeah, he's the outlet as well. When it's on that right-hand side, he's got the freedom to push up, because in that midfield area, they are playing very narrow, San Luis. So when the ball does get transferred over as a fullback, you've got a lot of space. So you should drive forward. That's a little trick. In England, that's called a nutmeg. What do you call it in Spanish?
2-0.
Oh, 2-0.
Yeah, like a tunnel.
Okay.
Because the legs
tunnel. Okay, good.
Form like an arch.
Yeah.
So here comes Mesa from the right corner arc, and finally it's the Atlético's defense clearing. Aguirre was making the call, but Mesa falls short.
Brace is furious in the midfield at 10 about keeping the ball. That's because he's never going to run and keep it. They need to keep the ball and pass it to him.
Now that we started the exchange between words, my friend, you need to learn to say horchata. Jansen. Campbell went through while Vincent was still trying to play it. Horchata, it's a sweet drink that will come in handy for our tour in Monterrey, especially if we're 102 degrees. Believe me.
Okay, I'll have one in my left hand, one in my right hand. Cool me down.
Well, yeah, no alcohol, by the way.
I didn't want, no one mentioned alcohol. It just went straight to your mind, so that tells me a little bit about you. You're already planning your trip and your night out. As long as you don't get on that karaoke machine, I'll be fine.
Oh my God. I think you will need like 8 or 9 aguas de horchata so you can feel the sugar rush and then join me at the karaoke. Long ball for Berterame. And that's a foul. It was Iniestra.
There was a few eyebrows raised when Romo, the big signing for Cruz Azul, was left out on the bench, and it's from Vucicic, the coach, but you can see it's worked very well. The balance that they've had in midfield, the two, if you like, holding number 6's midfield player, has allowed the front 4 and their fullbacks to push on and have a little bit of security. Because last time out when they played, everyone was pushing forward and Ortiz in the middle was exposed, and this time it's not happened. So great credit to the coach, and obviously had assists for the goal as well.
That's a goal from the ref. And now that the ball went back from Monterrey, I just started thinking that despite the control and that Monterrey has been such a much better team, even Andrada and Barovero have been 2 more spectators. They haven't been active during the whole first half.
No, they've kept the ball very well. The defensive line's good, but San Luis, when they have gone forward, they have been a threat. You know, you felt that there is an opportunity coming. So it's not just been totally dominated with possession and defensive shape. I mean, this is obviously curious with the player to make sure that we've had this before with the head injuries and concussions, and rightly so, to take their time, and medical staff to do the right thing. You know,
last week,
Jorge, in my prime, when they used to do it to us, actually the trainer would slap you around the face to make sure you're okay. I mean, that's how things have changed. You've got a whack on the head and then slap you. You okay? Yeah, well, I was until you started slapping me around the face.
They just wanted to check if you were still breathing, so you're good to go.
Yeah, as long as you could walk in a straight line, they put you up there.
Celsa goes back to Montes. Now it's Campbell. Last week, Jonathan Emmanuel Orozco had an epic performance here. That hasn't been the case for Marcelo Barovero, who just has been practically a spectator tonight. Campbell.
And the goal that went in, he couldn't do a lot about it. He was in sort of no man's land as he's come out. And Jensen just took it early enough. As soon as it bounced off his chest, he was able to hook it into the corner. But I think, yeah, both teams, both coaches will be delighted. Obviously, Monterrey getting the goal and having good possession. And San Luis to say, look, we was riding a little bit of luck earlier on. They had possession. They was looking very dangerous, Monterrey, but it's still only 1-0. And as strange as it sounds, while it's 1-0 and longer gets into 70 minutes, 75 minutes, there'll be a lot of nervous people in this stadium. And that starts to then generate to the players.
I agree with you. Probably not so nervous will be Victor Manuel Bucetich, who happens to be one of the winningest coaches or managers in the history of Liga MX. Gallardo connecting with Mesa. He's going wide. Campbell trying to control. He'll pass, and he kept it playing. Medina. Now it's Aguirre. Going back to Stefan Medina again. Back to Cesar Montes. And now it's Sebastian Vegas. Monterrey's not in a rush. They're just managing the game. They know that they're in control. They're leading. They have half of the ticket to the quarterfinals. Why risk it?
But also what they're doing as well is trying to suck the opposition out. It's keep bringing them out, because that's what happened for the goal. They kept bringing them along. They started to push forward, and then one little clever pass in behind and a good run. So you're really trying to entice the opposition to come out of position, to say, oh, we're under pressure, we're under pressure. Once they come out, one of you has got to have a good positional sense to just put the ball in behind. Just trying to entice them to come out of areas. So, you know, yes, we can be going to Jensen's feet, but if not, if they're high up the field, there's a lot of space in behind.
Listening to your analysis, I'm going to hold that thought, because here's Panchito going wide. He decided not to go deep. Now Gallardo. I don't know if we already regained the audience from Manchester City, but what you were explaining, probably that's what Pep should have done against Real Madrid midweek.
But I think Ancelotti should take a lot of credit. He took off some world-class players that couldn't maybe be as mobile as he needed to, and he put fresh legs on and energy, and it sort of caught Manchester City cold because they just got overrun. I mean, City could have had another one if it wasn't cleared off the line, but yeah, Pep should have just seen the game out. It's easier said than done, because they tried to get the third one and killed the third goal and second goal on the game to kill it off, but you know, maybe naivety about his experience, but just keep the ball. A great credit to Real Madrid. They just have a sense in the Champions League. I've been in that stadium. It's just all about winning the Champions League. What a coach he is, Ancelotti.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. It's what Oscar Macías Romo says, and big part of it is the injury suffered by Unai Bilbao Arteta. Just to close the UEFA Champions League topic between Manchester City and Real Madrid, is Benzema the best player in the world right now?
I think he's been one of the best players in the world for some time. I mean, we all get caught up with Lewandowski and Harry Kane, but Benzema's been doing it for 8 or 9, 10 years. So he's always been high in my agenda. But yeah, I mean, it's Modric as well, for someone of his age, just makes the game look so simple. They just do things that other players can't do, and that's what makes them so special.
Here's Monterrey managing the game, leading 1-0.
Well, hey, you said
great goal.
You said it perfectly there.
Go ahead.
Well, hey, they're managing the game. That's what they're doing. And when people think, well, what do you mean by managing the game? They're playing at their tempo. They're keeping the ball. They've got the shape, and now they're waiting for the right opportunity to try and penetrate. And that's managing the game. That's not fouling. That's not, you know, taking it in the corner. This is managing how they're playing the game.
As long as the ball is rolling, we're playing, right?
Yep.
That's Campbell. Going to the middle. Jansen. Another for Campbell. Fire from far. And Joel Nathaniel go way off target.
There's his present. Take it home for the mum tomorrow for Mother's Day. They should give him that.
There are some stories in Monterrey that, for example, the kids root for the Rayados and the parents root for Tigres.
Oh,
that's a big problem at home. So maybe that's why he returned the ball, my friend. That's the case, probably.
Isn't there a possibility that them two could meet, maybe, if results go?
You know, it's part of the color of the derbies in Monterrey when you see the boyfriend wearing a Tigres shirt and the girlfriend wearing a Rayados shirt, or the other way around. So it's, I mean, it's a story.
But in the playoff, couldn't it happen with these teams, if it goes, results go their way, that they could end up matching up against each other? Maybe.
Not in the following round.
Okay.
Not in the following round. I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens with Chivas, what happens with
That's
Puebla.
Right. Yeah.
Puebla is number 5. Chivas is number 6, Monterrey is number 7, and Cruz Azul is number 8. So far right now, if Monterrey, Chivas, and Puebla makes it through, would be Cruz Azul against Pachuca, Monterrey against Tigres, Chivas against America, no, Chivas against Atlas, and Puebla against America. But for that, all the home teams have to win in the repechaje round. Curling it out. Well played by Esteban Maximiliano Andrada. So we'll still have a derby. It doesn't matter if Monterrey goes against Tigres or not. Chivas, if they make it through, they will go either against Atlas, which is called in Guadalajara the Civil War, a rivalry that goes almost 100 years back in time, or they will go against America, which is the national derby in Mexico. If Puebla makes it through, Chivas as well, and Monterrey, you will have then also the Northern Derby between Tigres and Monterrey. That's probably the reason why Miguel Herrera is in attendance at this Steel Giant tonight.
You would think as well with San Luis going in at half-time, you know, to say where it is, where we are, we're only, you know, one goal in it, but they will start looking at 65 minutes, 70 minutes. He may have to look at his bench to change things up. He may have to say, well, we're going to maybe concede a little bit of defensive stability in midfield and maybe try and push someone on. And this is where they've let themselves down. They've won the ball in good positions, but then they're still going 100 miles an hour. Just have a little bit more composure. It's easier said than done when you're playing in this environment and the pressure's on, but you work so hard to win the ball, then you just need, I mean, half a second in the game is a long, long time. Just control it and then wait for your teammates.
Here's Pachito.
See, that's a waste.
He's playing it.
So they close down, good work again. Now, again, you can't go straight, you know, just keep it. Keep the ball. You know, they're out of position. You can tell by the look, by his teammates, they're a little bit disgusted. Just keep the ball.
I'm going to give you 3 pointers about my take on the game if you are with the Atléticos. First, pace yourself due to the weather. Second, keep it close. Third one, you'll risk in the last 15 to 10 minutes if it's still 1-0.
I would say that's a fair analysis, yeah. I think that's a very... have you ever thought of being a coach?
Are you trying to imply that I manage the game better than I do karaoke?
Listen, you can do a lot of things better than karaoke because you was awful. So I'm sure you'll be good at a lot of things rather than karaoke. Anyway.
We finally completed the 6 extra minutes, and that's it. There's the whistle from Jorge Antonio Perez Duran. Finishing the first half, it's 1-0 Rayados on top of Atlético San Luis. Great goal by Vincent Janssen. We'll go to a break, and we'll come back with the halftime show on FS2. We're back to the Steel Giant, where Monterrey hasn't lost in the last 6. Those 6 under the leadership of Victor Manuel Vucetich. 5 wins, 1 draw. And riding that streak, they're trying to avenge their only loss at their stadium this season. That happened on February 26. 2-0 was the victory earned by Atléticos. That night, John Murillo and Abel Hernandez scored the goals for the visiting team. Tonight it's been a different and complete story. A story in which Monterrey has been a better team. They have controlled it. They are ahead in the score. And they're managing the game well. Something that probably didn't happen during the Javier Aguirre's day. This is one of the things that have gotten better under Vucetich in the second half of this season. Monterrey is trying to advance to the quarterfinals. Earlier, Cruz Azul eliminated Necaxa. So, number 7 has already half of the ticket. Number 8 is already in the quarterfinals, joining Pachuca, number 1, Tigres, number 2, Atlas, number 3, and America, number 4. We are Jorge Perez Navarro, along with Warren Dean Barton, with big expectations about the last 45 minutes. What is André Suarez Jardine going to do? How long will keep the tacticals as they are right now? Because he needs to take risks. He needs to go for a goal to stay in the hunt for the ticket to the quarterfinals. There is no tomorrow. We can't tie. In case that we end regulation in a draw, we will proceed with the penalty kicks, just like Cruz Azul and Necaxa did earlier. We are playing under more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit. This also can take a toll on the players. That's probably the reason why San Luis have been pacing their game. And Monterrey has done the same, because despite that they would like to widen their lead, they're still trying. to keep their full physical shape until the end of the match. The Atléticos players are coming back, so are the Rayados. Warren Barton, it's been a good job, good performance by Monterrey. Not a powerful one, but still good enough to advance to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think they started the game very well. That got the fans on their side. Campbell's looked dangerous. Maxi Mason's looked dangerous when he's got the ball, and Jensen, the striker's got on the back of the net. Defensive play looks solid. And you were speaking about San Luis. How long do they leave it until they change? They've got Hernandez, number 9, the Uruguay. He can come on. He can score goals. He's got a couple of goals already this season. They're looking to get people into the game, so it won't be too long before he starts making 1 or 2 changes just to try and be a little bit more positive. By them doing that, will then leave more space for Monterrey to try and help at the back. And this is a player that you spoke about that was left out from the lineup at the beginning.
He will come in, Facundo Waller, the Salmon in Spanish. He will take the place of Juan Manuel Sanabria. This probably will change the tactical of San Luis. I would like to guess that Waller will go wide right and Sambuesa will go behind Berterame, trying to distribute, trying to find the open spaces and put the ball through. So this will be the second substitution made by the Atléticos after Unai Bilbao had to go out of the game with a left knee injury. Coming in, Ramon Juarez. There's a whistle by Jorge Antonio Perez Duran. Time to roll for the second half between Monterrey and Atlético San Luis. This is the repechaje round. There is no tomorrow. One game. The one who wins goes through, the other one goes back home. Jorge Perez Navarro and Warren Dean Barton along with you on FS2 on this Mother's Day weekend. First touches by San Luis.
Well, I think
trying to take control from Monterrey. Go ahead, Warren.
No, I think straight away San Luis, they might have gone with 3 at the back and pushed people on them wide areas. Got here on this left-hand side, and Waller will push up on that right-hand side. So there's a tactical switch straight away. Maybe we've only playing 1 striker, Monterrey, but what that will allow, we'll have someone like Campbell and Maxi Mason, when they do get the ball wide, they're 1-on-1 against the centre-half. So that's an area that I'm sure Monterrey will try and exploit.
So far, the first to be attacked was Stefan Medina. Probably the most solid defender that Monterrey has. That's Sambuesa going wide to Murillo with the cross, far out post, the strike!
Substitute come in, and it's a difficult technique, and he takes it sweetly on his left foot. Look at his composure, look at his technique. He knows as soon as he touches it, it's going into the back of the net. They get tucked in as a back line. The fullback gets tucked in too much. He has no idea where the player is behind him, and he tucks in. What a substitution, what a tactical change. They're back in the game, we've got game on. That's how Monterrey explained, but as a fullback, he doesn't open his body up. He's got no idea where the opponent is, and now they're under big pressure.
Another one for San Luis, but Water goes down. There is no away goal. That doesn't apply to the round of repechaje, so we're 1-1. The one who wins in aggregate, that's going to be the one advancing to quarterfinals. If we end up in a tie, we'll proceed with penalty kicks. So far, do you have plans after the match, Warren? Because you might need to start making some calls, letting people know that you might be late.
I don't think they're really worried anyway, so I'm fine. I'm good. No one worries. You know, when we get to our age, no one really worries anyway. It's only the dog that needs feeding. That's it. We're all good.
Here's Arona.
But what a start to the
Putting
half.
it through.
Wonderful.
Shield pass by Murillo. And this is probably the least that Vucetich and the rest of Monterrey was expecting.
Oh, yes.
That's for Jansen. Great defending there by Juarez.
From one side to the other, and it was an excellent finish, but the fullback, Monterrey, he had no idea. Granado, he didn't open his body up, his experience as well. You have to, as a fullback, you look at the ball, you look at the man, and you assess the situation. He gets sucked into the play. I've said they're vulnerable from balls played in, area balls, and no one challenged, no communication, and all of a sudden now you're finding a difficult proposition coming against you.
Did you see how Celso Ortiz reacted after that foul call against him? That's probably one of the biggest talents that Ruben Sambueza has. He can play mind tricks, he can sell stuff to the referees, and the least thing that Monterrey can do right now is lose their minds and their concentration.
Yeah, they can't get frustrated. Even there, Campbell's trying to close down. They play it in behind, and he's asking his teammates to go in. They just need to have a little bit of composure in the moment. But there's enough experience in this team. There's enough experience on the bench, and there's enough experience in this team just to get there, clear their heads a little bit. But at the moment, San Luis have got their tails up. They're really enjoying the game.
Another foul. This was called against Berti.
And we've not really mentioned him in the game. We know how clinical he can be. He's given the chance and the service.
You mentioned his 7 scores. 1/3 of the scoring of San Luis this tournament. But he hasn't had a single opportunity so far after 50 minutes and a half.
That would be the worry, because they're 1-1 in the game, because you know he will get a chance. I mean, they have defended him very well. They've kept him high up the field. He's never going to run in behind you. So defensively, they've kept their shape. Monterrey, they've played high up the field, but if they start dropping off and start getting a bit anxious and a few whistles, we said about how good the atmosphere was at half-time, it can quickly change. You can tell they're a little bit stunned at the moment.
Güemes. Fernando Güemes goes back.
And we
It's
spoke,
Juarez and now Leon.
we spoke about, you know, San Luis making some changes. I wonder with Monterrey, will they make a change? Will they keep with 2 holding midfield players, or will they try and win the game in the 90 minutes, or take their chances in penalties?
Jansen tossing it to Aguirre. He's going back to Vegas. Rodolfo Pizarro is back on the bench for Rayados. That could be an answer or an option, an opportunity to create more offensive plays for Monterrey. The big question is, how is he physically? Is he on game shape? Because it's not only how much he can run or how fast, but the timing, the touch, the sharpness. Sambueza going to the right. Here's Waller with the cutout, with the cross, far post. The header!
What an impact as well, and he played his part. Nice simple pass in midfield. They get it out wide to the sub. Again, it's poor defending. you know he's predominantly left-footed, you're going too close to him, and then it's that little dink. Again, you've got no idea, Medina, where he is behind you. You've got to get touch tight. His body shape's all wrong. He's just thinking to put it into an area. He's not disappointed. He's had an assist and a goal, and so has his teammate. Here's a better angle. Medina has a little glance. By that time, you should start backing into him. You should start coming across. He doesn't, and he gives him enough space to put the ball in the back of the net. They're shell-shocked at the moment, Monterrey.
It's number 4 in the tournament for John Murillo. 2 against Monterrey. He scored along with Abel Hernandez in the 2-0 from that last February 26, and now everything is again the team that was much better in the first half. Got themselves all trying to anticipate. Here's Mesa. He was slow. Murillo coming from behind.
Monterrey are far better when they play with energy and pace. When they sit back, they look vulnerable. And that's what they did in the first 20 minutes, and that's when they got the goal. The fans are engaged in the game now. They was booing beforehand. You need to lift the tempo. You need your big players to get on the ball.
Johnson wasn't able to finish the play. Now it's Campbell. I think he was offside. Didn't touch the ball, so he didn't get the call. But the best about what we're leaving right now, what it is at the best is still to come. Murillo is down. Is he in pain, or he's just trying to cool off Rayados?
I'd hazard a guess and say he's just trying to cool them down. But Monterrey now, you're right, it's game on. They've got to come out. They've got to go forward. They haven't got too many options on the bench. Pizarro, like you said, might give them that energy and that belief. But I think they'll probably sit tight for another 10 minutes, see how it goes, if they've got enough quality, but then they're going to start having to be a bit more positive and a bit more braver with his decisions. But hey, let's go to San Luis. Half-time, he made the substitution, he scored the equaliser, and then he's come up with the assist as well. So great credit to their coach. He changed it around. He's been around the Brazilian under-20s, the under-23s. He's always been an assistant, San Paulo, and he's come in and he's given belief. Tactically, they changed it. They went 3 at the back to allow the wing-backs to push up. And they've got a lot of thinking to do. They've got a lot of experience, but they've got some thinking to do quicker.
Vucetich is one of 6 managers out of the 12 teams who reached the repechaje round that didn't start the tournament with a team. Oh, the bicycle kick, a miss. And then finally, that's going to be an offside. That's why he didn't play for it.
He just left it. It's a corner. It's gone for a corner. It's a good response. Listen to the atmosphere now in the stadium.
It's winner night. They need 2 goals, at least 1. They've got, take this to penalty kicks.
They've got time, but you need to keep this energy going. It's been a good response since they conceded.
Barovero. The curl in. Cleared. And Jansen is the first to get to the ball. Now it's Gallardo trying to put it into the penalty area. And it was deflected. Now the throw in by Jesus Daniel.
I think they're booing him as well.
Now time is on. Yeah, it's not only the pressure of that player number 12, but also the time, Warren. Jansen didn't like what the ref Perez Duran is calling, and like Warren Barton said, they can get frustrated, they can lose their mind, they need to stay cool, they need to stay focused.
He was always going to go down. As long as Gonzalez got near him, he was always going to fall over. You need to be smart, you need to be clever, be angry by all means. But you're right, he's been focused. Channel that aggression in another way.
That's exactly the attitude that I need from you when we go karaoke, my friend. That's a steal. Sambuesa was pulled from the jersey, and finally Montes was able to clear it quickly. Murillo going across, Vegas deflecting it from far. There's some space, and Iniestra goes to the right. Here's Chavez going wider to Waller. Immediately Gallardo goes to the challenge. Great moves there by Waller until he goes down, and that's a foul against Gallardo.
Well, Waller's starting to feel it, and he's getting frustrated. He's getting obviously a lot of abuse from the fans, and when you're playing against someone and you feel that he's under pressure and you're feeling the game, as the opposition, you just keep giving him the ball, because someone's having a bad time. Right, if I was you, I'd get back, because it's your time that you're wasting.
And for a set piece, we have a master in control for the first touch. Rubens Oscar Sambueza, a very sharp shooter. The flicker, and finally goes straight to Esteban Maximiliano Andrada.
Well, just go quick. You're waiting for people to be in the ball, but you've got to go quick.
Where's Celso going? To the left. Ball to the penalty area. Defended by Leon. And now Chavez smashing it. Big fight there by Vegas. Losing at the end. And that's a foul. Goal by Perez Duran, and this will bring another yellow card. This will be for Eric Germain Aguirre Tafoya. First one for Monterrey.
Well, Waller's come on and he's been sensational. Not only has he got the goals, but he's looked full of confidence in, and that's what you want your substitution to come on at half-time. It would have been quite easy for him to feel left out, you know, if you like, sulk about it and not be part of it, but he's come on and really had a big influence. I think what they're saying, you're close enough to and this is the area. I mean, as I said, he's come under some criticism as well, Roma. Big signing from Buzazor. They're just trying to say, can he not get off the field? He's actually, you know, inches away from the touchline.
Now, Warren, please dissect the possibility of Luis Romo coming into the game. That will be to retake control of midfield, correct?
Yes, and also he's more of a number 8 that pushes forward, where at the moment they've got 2 6s, which they tried to nullify the counter-attack, but obviously now it's gone to 2-1. You don't need both of them now. You've got to try and push forward. You've got to try and influence the game, and he is a player that has got quality. It's maybe not gone as well as he would have liked, but he's got a point to prove, and just picking up a yellow card, he's come in, so I think it's a like for like in the sense of midfield, but he's more adventurous going forward and to score some goals.
Position for position. It's not the strongest game for Eric Aguirre, being in that part of the midfield. Luis Romo, he left the game last week in not good terms with the fans.
Well, they just booed his name.
Booed.
Yeah, they just booed his name there.
And he was under heavy criticism from the fans and from the media during the week. He's back, and let's see how he does. Sambueza. Now the captain going wide to Murillo. Taking Jansen down from 4. It was a good try by John Edward.
Well, they're starting to feel it. Now, they can feel if they can get a third one, this place, they're going to start booing on the players. It's a big 10 minutes now for Monterrey. They need to create some chances. They need to get some energy in the stadium, because the fans are just finely balanced at the moment. Jorge, they're either with you or against you, and you better act very quickly to keep them on your side.
Here's Jansen going wide on the run. Here's Stefan with a cross. Good fist there by Barovero. And now Montes.
The one thing with Jansen that you can do is you can't just go direct and go long. You know, normal teams, they want to try and pass their way. We said about Manchester City, but you can go long with him because he's that unorthodox big number 9 that's just going to try and put himself around a little bit, and that's good closing down by Campbell.
What a great play there by Barovero. He started the run right on time to get to the ball first before Campbell, who it's practically a ghost in the second half. Jansen trying.
Well,
But no luck so far.
Burning their own players. I think Campbell and Maxi Mason, after the first 10, 20 minutes, I haven't seen them. You need your players. You need these type of players in these occasions to help you out. If they go hiding and go missing, that's no good for anybody.
It's like Monterrey lost the hunger right after they took the lead at the 17th minute, and now they are overwhelmed with the start of this second half that the Atléticos have had.
Yeah, I don't know whether they got the situation where we're winning 1-0, let's just try and sit out that they used to do. They're far better off when they're more aggressive, they go forward and play higher tempo. They're a much better team.
Everybody online. Here comes the set piece. Deflected. It was Waller. He has become a dynamo for these Atléticos, taking over from Ruben Sambueza. Romo. Now Medina. Romo was on the run. He had to stop. It was going to be offside. There's no space for Stefan. Medina has to go back.
And it's too slow.
Monterrey is trying.
It's too slow. You've got to pass it quick. It gets out wide. Can you deliver? Now you've got space. Can you pull it into the area? They get organised now.
And San Luis is doing such a wonderful job defending. They're focused, they're concentrated, their discipline in the tactics is amazing. Sambueza going side to side, misplaying it, tossing it to Romo, and now he goes to the left. Good control there by Campbell. Ball throw, short for Jansen. 65 minutes are gone, believe it or not. Atlético San Luis are coming back. They're leading 2-1 Rayados. Right at this stadium where they came on February 26th and got the win. Ball through! Way too long for the try for Germán Berterame.
Monterrey at the moment just look like they haven't got any energy. You know, they only won one game in 4. We touched on that, but being at home, particularly in the first 20 minutes, you thought they was going to play with a lot more energy, a lot more purpose. They need a spark from somewhere.
Mesa with the cross. Way too long for Jansen. Way too long for Campbell as well. Joel Campbell isn't looking good now that he's playing wide on the left. He was way much better. He felt more comfortable playing behind Jansen in the first half. He was more active. He had more opportunities. And it was for San Luis harder to stop him. Ball for Murillo. Now Sambueza. And just like Monterrey did in the first half, now Los Atléticos are managing the game.
And it's all going through their 38-year-old in midfield, or stroke number 10 position. He wants to go ball, he's pulling the strings, he's running away from people.
Now the question around Ruben Sambueza is if he has enough to go the whole 90 minutes. Because if this goes to a penalty kick definition, you sure want to have him to kick one. Great play there by Vegas. Romo connecting with Campbell, and there goes Joel. Taking too much time, Monterrey. Romo going to the right. Good control there by Mesa. Maxi, 1v1. And the cross. Control by Barovero when Jansen went down. Did you see the polling that Luis Fernando Leon did from Jansen's jersey? Just messing with him.
I think
this is a little push from behind.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get a penalty there from Leon, and they're just having a battle, but he's just trying to get some momentum in the game. Yeah, so just trying to get some anger, and as I said, Campbell's drifted out. And really, that sums up his career. That there's been glimpses where you think Campbell's going to take the world on fire and play well, and then he just drifts out of a game and drifts his career. If Pizarro comes on, he's got energy. I think that they need to take his left back off. Gerardo, he's getting criticism from the fans, and that's just antagonising anyone. So I would take him off. Maybe even go through at the back and try and match up against him, because at the moment he's been out-coached.
That's a ball through. And Montes made sure that the ball never made it through. Sambueza probably on his last minutes, pulling air. It's more than 100 degrees, and he is more than 38 years old.
Age is just a number. I keep telling you that. It's just a number.
Same with the temperature, my friend. It's just a number, 102 degrees.
Yeah, it's just a number. You know, go quick, go quick. You keep hesitating. The fans are getting anxious. You know, play high tempo, put them under pressure. Got nothing to lose.
I have the feeling that Monterrey, it's slow not only mentally but also physically.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if they are paying for the effort not only of the first half but through the whole season, going through the heat that right now it's punishing the east side of Monterrey. The header,
but also
not sharp from Jansen.
But also they had the momentum earlier on in the game, and that gave them energy. Then they sort of got in that position, do we go forward, do we get a second? And then they allowed the opposition to get momentum, and then half-time changed, bang, 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 it's 2-1, and now it's hard to get it back. It's hard to change that momentum.
The next sub for Monterrey will be Jose Alfonso Alvarado, a finisher. But what they need to do is create opportunities. For that, they have Rodolfo Pizarro. As we mentioned him, they have Michel Rodriguez.
Well, this is a good opportunity to have a timeout now and talk to your players with the fluids that they can get, and just try and change it around. You don't normally get this in a normal game, but because you touched on the heat, it's a way of really tweaking things that you need to do.
So far, it's been a second half that nobody saw it coming. Waller came in, and he changed the face of these Atléticos. They took the lead after the first 7 minutes, and they have been in control, erasing everything that Monterrey did in the first 45. How can a team change that dramatically during the halftime, Warren?
A tactical switch by the opposition. Waller come on as a player to influence the game and have a point to prove. And as I've mentioned before, with Monterrey, just before half-time, they was in a position, do we go for it or do we try and sit back? And they got caught in the deer in the headlights, and before they knew it, there was 2 goals winning in quick succession, and now they're chasing the game.
So what I'm getting from your analysis, Warren, is that beyond the players, Andrés Suárez Jardine is winning the battle of the strategy.
Yes.
On Víctor Manuel Vucetich?
Yes, I'm going with that. He changed it around, and before you could, and then very similar, let's go back to the Champions League. Before, you know, Manchester City knew it, they was 2 goals had gone in, quick succession, and now they're trying to chase the game, get into it. And all the momentum now is with San Luis. You're putting a kid on there that's only got 1 goal all season. I mean, you know, Bruno Morais is missing. You know, he's scored 107 goals for this club, so he's out of the equation. He's not going to be around for a while. They're desperately needing a spark. They need some energy.
Poncho Gonzalez went out. So did Joel Campbell. Jose Alfonso Alvarado is in, as is in Rodolfo Pizarro. Who's going to play on left? Maybe Alvarado. Maybe Pizarro will play behind Jansen.
Well, I think they've got
He's
Mesa.
the one with vision.
Yeah, they've got Mesa on the right, Pizarro on that left-hand side, and just left the two in midfield, and this is where they might get outplayed.
Fire from far. No luck for Berterame. And that's a ball through. Way too long for Luis Francisco Romo Barron. No sharpness for Monterrey. And time is already a factor against Los Rayados.
And listen to the fans as well from the misplaced pass, and then not having Romo chase the ball as well. So when it's like this, and I've had it myself as a player, you need to have a bit of character and dig in deep to work and to make it, to change them around, because you need something now, because otherwise your season is over.
Victor Manuel Vucetich has won 5 ligas in Mexico. Has been the best manager 4 times. 91-92, 93-94, Apertura 2009 and Apertura 2010. Jansen connecting with Pizarro. And the Waller with the steal. And putting the ball away. And he's going against a manager that won the gold medal in the 2020 Summer Olympic Games. More experienced Vucetich playing on his turf. Opportunity, Medina going to the short part of the field and finally getting the throw in.
Well, he should have put it in first time when the ball was played out to him. And that's that little bit of hesitation and confidence that they need.
Murillo.
That's what they're looking to do now. They're looking to break on the counter-attack as they got their other goals.
And that lack of confidence reflects me that they're like stunned. They never expected to be 2-1 down with 15 more minutes to go. I feel that they don't know how to react. Jansen trying to go around with the shot. Deflected now Pizarro. Putting it through. Mesa with the cross! Jansen and Plátano have gone wrong. No goal for Rayados.
But that's much better. It's much more incisive with their passing. Of course he's going to lay down. Of course he's going to take his time. Chavez, he's going to run the clock out and let them get down. They're under pressure. That's part of the professional game. But this is what they need to do. Get it wide, get it into an area, and he's just trying to come across. You need to have more bodies in that area, but when you get the ball, pass it quicker. The opportunity comes along on the side. Put it into a dangerous area. They've got to do more of this. They've got to move the ball quicker. They've got to suffocate and get the second ball, make it high tempo. But what San Luis will do, will look when they have their pace in behind. Waller on the right. Lino on that left-hand side.
Waller extending the bench to hold it. It's a left knee. And when we saw the replay, Warren, what a way of Jansen to put his leg between the legs of Ricardo Chavez and even being able to make a small touch at the ball.
Well, I'll tell you in about 5 seconds he'll be up and back on the field.
Yeah, he's already looking how to get off the car. And Vucetich is playing his strategy. Ref, check out the time. We lost probably a minute. In the first half, we had 6 more after the injury suffered by Unai Bilbao. And so far, what a great game from the 20-year-old Ramon Juarez, who took his spot.
Yeah, he got Cook out for the goal. He took out a position for the goal. He's a little bit caught one-sided, but since then he's had to defend very well. If we're being honest, well, he's not really been tested. You know, they had that good 20 minutes, and other than that, they really need to get going now.
The cross. The throw! That was so close from Maxi.
But again, it's Pizarro. He's a busy player. Didn't work out for him at MLS at Inter Miami, but he's busy. He gets the ball alive, and then Mesa just comes across, and they're just trying to pass that into the corner. Bounces a ricochet around, and it's the sub that comes on. He's just trying to hook it into that corner. But you can tell just something like that is lifting the fans. He's lifting the energy. They've got a good, I would say, they've got 15 minutes to get back in this game.
And what Pizarro is trying to do is what Water have done for Atlético San Luis.
Yeah, totally different in the setback. Just his energy. He's a busy player. Waller has got pace. He's got quality, and he's got a little bit of arrogance about him as well as a player to come on and influence the game. You can see with his celebration. I don't mind that with a young player coming on to have an influence.
With Necaxa eliminated by Cruz Azul, if Atlético San Luis defeats Monterrey and Puebla and Chivas make it through, they will become the 8th seeded. And that will allow them to face Pachuca in the quarterfinals. Medina, the bicycle kick. No contact by Plátano. Nelson all the way. And what a save from El Tapito, Marcelo Barbero.
I don't think he knew anything about it. It's just a reaction save, but what a reaction from the fans. He just turns and it's a swivel, and he just, as I said, a reaction from the Argentinian, 38 years of age. Sticks his hand up and pushes it away.
Let's try not to go to the average age of this San Luis 11, because with Barovero and Sambuesa we'll go to like an under 50 team.
What he was going to say about the commentator's average age.
Pizarro got the foul call, and we have less than 9 minutes in regulation. That's all there is for the Guapias team in Liga MX.
Yeah, don't forget, San Luis have conceded 22 goals this season, so they do have a tendency to concede goals, and that was one where he thought he was in the back of the net. I think if it goes any side, left or right, another 3 or 4 foot, it's in the back of the net, because he hits it so true, he goes straight down the throat to the goalkeeper, and he makes a good save. Can he deliver? Has he got a moment of quality?
Here comes Mesa. Ball clear. Pizarro from outside of the penalty kick, then the bicycle kick, and we go nowhere. This season only 3 wins away for San Luis, but those were tough wins. 1-0 in match week 16 against Cruz Azul. The 1-0 over Monterrey in match week 7, and 3-2 over America in match week 4. So they know how to win against big teams. Mesa putting it through now. Jansen, the 1-2, ball straight to the left, to the feet of Leon.
Well, the fans are trying to play their part. They're trying to push them on. They've gone away from booing their players, because that's never really going to help anybody. They're trying to. They want to be here. They want to be in the next round.
Here's Medina with the cross. Wild bounce. And now it's Alvarado connecting with Celso. Again, Captain Ortiz putting it to the penalty kick. The flicker. And Johnson wasn't able to control it.
He just couldn't get out of his feet. He just didn't sit kind enough for him. But they're getting closer. They're getting closer. They're just starting now with San Luis, and he must be a bit concerned, because they're starting to find areas. They're starting to create chances.
They just need to score 1. There is no away goal in repechaje round. So if they tie, they still are alive. They will take this to a penalty kick definition.
Well, this is Diaz coming on, and he's a no-nonsense defender. And Castro as well, so they're really looking just to shut up shop. They've got what they've needed, and have they got enough now to see it off? And two offensive players. That's a big surprise. I thought they'd leave at least one of them on with the energy and the pace that they've got, but I think what you're doing here maybe is inviting pressure on. But they probably see with Diaz in particular, with his aerial presence, that he can keep Jensen quiet.
San Luis started with a tactical of 4-3-3. But at the end of these live or die matches, you can finish 1-9-1, correct?
Correct. He just told him straight away, Castro, they're going into a 5-4-1.
What a move by Ortiz.
Cross it, don't shoot, just cross it. Never going to score from there. But that's what I'm saying. With Jensen, you can lift it forward. It's not like a Chicharito or a Funes Mori that wants it to feet. He's quite happy just to have the ball played into him and then pick up the second balls like that chance against Campbell. And what they're doing now, San Luis, they're inviting pressure on. Sorry, my man.
No, go ahead.
And that's what they're doing. They're sitting back deep. He's got bodies now, and it hasn't got to be a great ball. As long as you can put it into a dangerous area, you've got chances to put the ball in the back of the net.
Here's Pizarro with a cross. Finding no one. We have 5 minutes and 10 more seconds in regulation. No more for Rayados. Ball through to Jansen. He's being pulled from the jersey. No call from the ref. And now from 4. Another strike that I don't think it was the best decision from Rayados. Jansen being pulled again. Long ball for Alvarado.
But they're so narrow. Oh.
The bounce was almost killing Andrada there. All the Atléticos players are defending their own turf. That's gonna be for Montes. Big collision there.
As much as we can say about Monterrey, but you have to give credit, a great credit to San Luis, the way that they showed character. The coaches played his part, the subs played their part. There was just a little bit of contact.
Last 4 minutes of regulation. First Celso. What is Maxi doing?
You've got to keep wide. Someone has to just stay wide, and you've got enough people in the middle. You can push people on. You've got 3 or 4 people. Look how many people are so close. Come out wide, Ortiz. Create some space. Just getting attracted to the ball, and it's easy for San Luis to mark you.
But look at the discipline by San Luis.
But you work on this. As a back line, on a Thursday or a Friday, you work on shifting and closing the spaces down.
Ball to the penalty area. Well played by Marcelo Barbero. I understand that. But also we have to take in consideration the nerves, the anxiety, the moment, the fans, the possibility of beating Monterrey away from home. Sometimes that betrays yourself.
No, as well, not just once, but twice you would do it. You know, that's something that starts getting into players' minds, that they've beaten you not only once, but they've beaten you twice on your home patch.
Before this tournament, this franchise of Atlético San Luis had won only one time before in Monterrey. That happened in the year 2016. This first half of 2022, they can go 2 out of 2. Pizarro going wide.
I'm looking at some
intercepted.
I'm looking at some of Monterrey's players. They don't want the ball. You're seeing the back of their shirts. Each one of them, Roma, he doesn't want the ball because he knows he's going to get criticism.
So are they quitting on the manager? Are they quitting on the team? Are they quitting on the callers?
They're quitting on themselves because they don't want to get with the fans on their back. You've got to be brave enough.
Medina, the strike, very complicated, but at least Alfonso Alvarado tried it.
Whereas they've gone for a corner, just a little touch. Leon, he just done enough. 29-year-old got his head in the way. This will be interesting. Come on, get it up.
The moment of truth.
Come on.
50-50 ball. And that's for Marcelo Barovero. Michel Rodriguez will come to the game. Fresh legs for Monterrey, trying to come up with a miracle.
I can't believe they were just throwing it out. The goalkeeper was throwing the ball out. Should have just got his team up the field and just kicked it as far as he possibly can.
This is the final minute of regulation. Pizarro looking, being deflected. Now Gallardo. Here's Ortiz. Maxi going around, going down, and getting the foul call.
Well, I think that was very... Castro thinks he had to won the ball, but...
Gallardo is going out.
Well, you know it's him, you can hear the boos.
Ooh, 8 minutes.
You
never expected to see that much.
You didn't have any dinner plans, did you? You didn't have any dinner plans? You're fine.
Ball cleared.
Keep it alive, don't try and be a hero.
Now it's the first one for Rodriguez. Castro avoided the corner kick. Medina.
Just put it in earlier.
He gets the corner kick now. Maxi from the right corner arc. Terrible execution.
I mean, all you have to do...
You have to give your... You have to give your teammates a chance at least.
And now he's done it again, not once but twice.
Jansen putting it through. That's going to be long. Played straight to Marcelo Barovero.
I think if we're honest, they don't deserve it, Monterrey. They really don't deserve it. They've got themselves into a hole. They may scramble out of this with a little bit of luck or someone getting something out of nothing. But when you look at the performance over the 92 minutes, and we're going to go into 98 minutes, San Luis have, tactically, they've been good. They've worked hard. They've been brave on the ball.
And if Monterrey being eliminated by Santos Laguna a couple of tournaments ago was painful and Javier Aguirre was never able to shake that off, this probably will be potentially more painful.
Definitely, you know, being at home against a team that last week got Santos Laguna beaten 3-1 at home. I know they've made some changes, obviously, but they've made some changes, but being at home, that's all you want in a playoff game. In the big game, you just want to play at home, where the new coach has made it a little bit of a fortress and got off to a wonderful start.
Out of the 6 managers that didn't start the tournament with their current teams that are in the repechaje round, Jardine, Bucetich, and Fernando Ortiz, they earned 20 points. Jardine did it in 13 matches, Bucetich in 11, and Fernando Ortiz in only 9. America San Luis was one in the bottom of the standings, and apparently that became a good term lock. Waller conceding the corner kick. And 3 out of the 8 minutes will be gone when we got the kick. Curl out, 50-50 ball. Alvarado made slight contact, and then the ball will go out.
Yeah, that's a head injury. There was a big collision there, but people went in brave. The referee has to do this, but
okay, one is coming up. The other one is still down.
He'll get up, don't worry, he'll get up. Put him with some delivery, some pace on the ball. It's a head injury, it's a clash of heads. The referee has to do the right thing.
And after the collision, we lost probably 45 seconds. Here's Maxi on the right corner arc now, giving the Rayados a possibility. Pizarro putting it in play. Deflected, and now the opportunity for the kill.
Come this way.
Here comes San Luis. 3 are going forward, 3 are coming back, and the ball goes to the middle. This is the finish! And finally the strike goes wide by Germán Berterame. No number 8, at least tonight for the Villamariense.
And this is what they want. If they want someone there, it's going to be this gentleman to put it into the back of net, but maybe just fatigued the way he's had to defend. He's had to work the line by himself.
Here's Rodriguez.
That's where they've been really disappointed as well. They've been getting into decent areas, and their service, their delivery has been poor.
Another ball to the penalty kick, played by Jansen. Deflected. And finally sent out. And here's the throw-in by Medina. Pizarro. Aiming for the space. Going to the far goal post. The ball is in play. The strike!
What a moment for the kid, and all he had to do was concentrate and hit the target, and he didn't disappoint. It doesn't have to be a clever delivery for the 21-year-old. They just put it in there, and look at him just sniffing around. Where's he going to fall? There it is. Good night. What a strike. Pizarro just dinks it to the far post. There's a little bit of chaos, and then there's some calmness on the finish.
What a wild bounce. That he was the one to beat Barrero right there.
He's got a body like you, my friend.
Now what do you do, Warren? Do you go for the kill? Do you go to win it, or you try to settle?
Well, what you don't
That's
do,
a foul.
you don't concede. Oh, he was in. Yeah, with all the jubilation, you just take stock. You've still got a minute to go.
So there go the plans for Saturday night, because so far, if we finish like this, we'll go to penalty kicks. This will bring a yellow card.
I think you wait now.
Second one for... Waller went back straight to take care of Pizarro. Rodolfo still in control. Tossing it to Mesa. Maxi. Deflected by Chavez. Jardine asking for the end of the match. Necaxa tied Cruz Azul, the 88th minute. And finally the ref call the end of regulation. We are 2-2, so we will proceed with penalty kicks to know who will advance to the quarterfinals. Would it be Monterrey? Would it be Atlético San Luis? What a match! What a night on FS2, Warren Dean Barton.
Oh, sensational. Didn't disappoint us. What an end to the game. Both coaches played their part, put their subs on, influenced the game. The momentum now is all with Monterrey, but they've got two very, very, very capable goalkeepers at both ends. And we've seen it with Cruz Azul earlier on. Whoever keeps their nerves, and you'd expect the home fans to influence the penalty takers. And what a game we was. We wasn't disappointed.
We mentioned in the first half that Atlético San Luis probably was trying to pace themselves, not to lose physically in the second half, trying to keep it close and try to finish it in the second half. And what a beginning of the second 45 minutes. In the first 7, they took the lead 2-1, playing away with no fear and with a lot of ambition. Now we are facing a definition that for a lot of people is not fair. Unfortunately, one team has to be eliminated.
Well, being English, I know plenty about penalty competitions that we've fallen out of. And what I've noticed there, just the coach there at Monterrey, Rudovic, he was talking, and every single player and member of staff was focused on him. Whatever he was saying, they was taking on board. And when you look around this group, Pizarro, Montes at the back, you've got experience, and this is what you need, experience. You can't ever emulate the walk from the halfway line down to take the penalty, but what you can experience is being focused and being into a routine. And they played their part, the home fans in the end. They was booing 1 or 2 players, but then in the last 6 or 7 minutes, they just started to cheer and get behind their team.
The legs are hurting. We started at 102 degrees, now it's 88 degrees. Today, the highest temperature was registered in 106 Fahrenheit. The intensity of the game, the kilometers run already by each player, the sweat, the anxiety, the stress. Everything goes against every player who asked for the opportunity to kick from the penalty spot. But that's what makes legends, that's what creates superstars. These type of moments, and no one better than Warren Dean Barton to talk about the scenario what we're about to witness.
Yeah, for the home team is obviously you want to go first in the penalty shootout. You want to be where your majority of your fans are behind the goal to try and generate some atmosphere, and you can tell after that late equaliser, there's a real feel-good factor in the stadium. As a player, you would have prepared for this, you would have gone around, but all of that, Jorge, sort of goes out the window because this is a different scenario. You know, this is sudden death. You're doing it on a training ground, you're walking in there, you don't have this type of pressure, but what you try and do is go back to a routine of what you do. Predominantly right-footed players go to the right, left-footed players go to their left, into the goal. So when you look at the goal, they go to their left-hand side. Goalkeepers can't come off their line. That's something that we're going to have to look. But if you're the captain now, you want to go first.
For Andres Suarez Jardine, no matter what the result is, it's been a great takeover of this Atlético San Luis. After losing the first 3 matches, he got to a league that he has never seen or participated before. 6 wins, 2 draws, 5 losses. He took the team from last to the repechaje round, and now they are going for the ticket to the quarterfinals against the wealthiest roster in the league. That's a way to make a presentation.
And not only, I think you said about the performance that he's done, but the way that they've played as well. I mean, you said about experience. I mean, 2 goalkeepers here, one that's 38 years of age, 2 Argentinians, funny enough, as well. So very focused, and the 38.
Barovero defended Monterrey in 74 games. He won the Liga MX and a CONCACAF Champions League. A among many other awards and honors that he has received through a very long career. Esteban Andrade has won the Copa Sudamericana along with the Golden Globe Superliga and Sudamericano under 20. He's been a solid goalkeeper for Monterrey in the last couple of tournaments. He has had his up and downs. Sometimes, like against Pachuca, he committed 2 errors, but he has been solid most of the tournament. San Luis will kick first. A mouth protector.
And he had that chance just before they scored as well, where he pulled it.
We have 5 kicks. If we're tied, we'll go sudden death. The first one is in. Goal by Berterame. It's 1-0. San Luis from the penalty spot.
Well, that's the way to set the tone straight away. He had no hesitation, wasn't going to play it, he's gone the right way. But as soon as you go high, the power as well, that was a very, very good penalty. Now all of a sudden the momentum changes. I always think going first gives you such an advantage in this situation.
Here comes Jansen. After 1,144 minutes without a score, he has to win the last 2 matches. Oh, beautiful save by Marrero! Big mistake from Vincent, and this might cost heavily to Monterrey.
But that was a poor penalty. There was no real conviction, no real desire. It was timid, it was come to him, and he didn't even have to, he wasn't even in the corner. It was virtually just the side of the goal. You think
not all strikers are good penalty kickers, correct?
Yeah, you said maybe as you turn the corner, this is a big one. You can get yourself back into it if you can save this.
And it goes in. What a great way to kick by Ricardo Chavez Soto. Goal! And it's 2-0 from the penalty spot for Atlético San Luis.
Yeah, as cool as you like, just tucked it away. He knew straight away, just passes it into the corner. He goes early, he knew as soon as he touched it, he was in.
After Jansen, it's Maxi. What a big responsibility.
We need to lift everybody in the stadium because it's gone quiet again. After Jensen's penalty, it's gone quiet. He needs to, the responsibility on his shoulders to get everybody back on side, to put some pressure on San Luis.
We have the call. Maxi taking his time with the kick. One more time.
They're done. They're gone. You can just feel it. You can see it in their eyes. They don't believe they're going to do it. Two very, very poor penalties from two very, very good players.
So was it too much, the effort made by Monterrey?
It's pressure that's gone on.
To come back and tie in the last couple of minutes, so they're done right now?
No, that should give you energy, but it hasn't. It's had the opposite effect. They just haven't got the belief to go forward. They need a big stop from him just to try. They need someone to give you a lifeline. Wow.
Goal! And it's 3-0 from the penalty spot. This was the captain, kamikaze Javier Güemes Lopez. And if Monterrey misses the next one, it'll be all.
Look at the body language with the different groups of players. Well, here's your captain and probably arguably one of their best players through this season.
This is the captain, Celso Ortiz, trying to keep Monterrey alive. If he misses, that's it. The whistle, the strike! Ball goes in! And it's 3-1. San Luis from the penalty spot.
There's just a little bit of pressure on him now. At least that was a bit of anger. The two before was weak. He steps up and just drills it into the corner. Here he is, he's not very shy. See his celebration if he gets the winner.
So the man who made the difference on behalf of San Luis has the responsibility to eliminate Monterrey once and for all. We have the whistle. Here comes the finish! Oh my! It was the crossbar! Rebound outside the goal line, and Monterrey is still alive!
Oh wow, he thinks he's in. He's just off to celebrate. Look at him. With the smile on his face.
Part of the ball ends up inside the goal. That has to be the whole ball.
Pizarro now.
So here's Rodolfo Pizarro. Heavily criticized as well since his return to Monterrey after not a very good stint with Inter Miami. This is a good way for him to gain the favor of the fans one more time. If not, I don't want to think what is going to be the summer for Rodolfo Gilbert Pizarro Thomas. If he misses, Rayados will be eliminated. Here comes the strike!
Oh,
the post! Atlético San Luis wins. They advance to the quarterfinals, and Monterrey has been eliminated.
But I don't think they can have any arguments. They've shown more character, more desire, San Luis, and I think this just sums up Monterrey this evening. It's very unfortunate. It could have bounced up, but really did they deserve it? I would say no. Three people you want taking the penalties, and it's all backfired on them. But great credit to San Luis, their coach, and their players on the day. I thought they was excellent in the second half.
It's been a sad night for Monterrey, for their whole community, for the whole Rayados clan. Andrés Suárez Jardine won the battle of strategies. The Rayados players quit themselves, and they weren't able to be sharp on the penalty kicks. And a much hungrier Atlético team is advancing. Warren Barton, what a night.
It was a magnificent game. You know, every aspect of the winning goal, the coaching staff, the fans played their part. But I think if we're really truthful, the best team have come through and won it. And Monterrey had it in their hands. They had the opportunity. I think they got caught out really early on in the second half and was never really able to get back into it. Even with that late equaliser, you think that would give them momentum, but the penalties that they come against was weak. It was poor. He's played his part, 38 years of age. You think you've seen it all, and there you go, there's another opportunity. And they're playing with house money now. They've got nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. They come into this stadium and they come out worthy winners.
With two more matches in the repechaje round, Atlético San Luis joined Cruz Azul along with Pachuca, Tigres, Atlas, and America in that next round. On behalf of 002 Warren Dean Barton, I am Jorge Perez Navarro, thanking all of you. Until next time, over and out.